Get ready for another episode of Live Speak. With Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek.
Justin the
Geek. What you're about to hear. Live Speak. Justin the Geek. Breaking news.
Live Speak.
Interesting guests.
Justin the Geek.
Your calls and texts. Live Speak. Tips and news you can use. Warning. 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 This program is highly addictive and habit-forming. Side effects include happiness, knowledge, memory improvement, and retention, increased attention span, loss of disabilities, and more. Consult your doctor before listening to this program. Now, enjoy the show responsibly.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. It's been a couple weeks since we've actually been on together with Alan Quant from digitalcraft.com.
Hello.
Hello. It has been a while, hasn't it? I mean, you did a show 3 weeks ago without me. I was in a move, for those that don't know and need to know. I moved locations of my life, and Alan took over for that show. And then the following show, Alan was actually, you were doing a video shoot for Pink Droid then, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I was in El Paso.
Yeah, that's right. So we didn't do a show together then, and then Father's Day, we decided not to do a show for Father's Day. So here we are. We're back, finally.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't, because I totally forgot.
I figured when we did the Mother's Day show, we had like 4 listeners, and it didn't go over well. You know, it's just people were busy, and it would have been hard. Besides, you know, Father's Day, you're a father. It would have been tough. So
I try.
Yeah, you try to be a father. That's good that you try. Good man. What do we have to talk about today? Lots of stuff. Tons of stuff. We have a comedian on the show later. Philippe Schafer. He's actually really funny. I've been listening to him. He has a course on udemy.com, and it's the beginner's guide to stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedia. Stand-up comedy. It's actually a pretty cool course. I was going through it, and it's $39. He's got a coupon code for the listeners here that's going to make it $19, but we'll share that later. But first, a couple of things that we've come across lately in the news and the tech world and things like that. I wanted to talk about Facebook's giant reveal from June 20th. I mean, for those that don't know, Facebook put out this kind of a press release. It was a secret press release. Only certain publication companies got this, and they got a white envelope and then just a white piece of paper, and it said, some people at Facebook are working on something special. Come join us for coffee and stuff like that. It was really weird, just this, you know, classified type thing, and turns out it's just Instagram video. You know, that that effort they went through for this big giant reveal, and you know, suspicions, and everybody's trying to figure out what it is, and it's just 15-second video, really, on Instagram.
Yeah, the way you announced it to me, it almost sounded like 9/11. Like, do you remember where you were when Facebook made that announcement?
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
I remember when video was released on Instagram.
It was just, you know, I thought it was going to be something epic. There was people thinking that Facebook was finally going to start charging for their messaging service. I've heard that one. But, and then now the talks about the Instagram 15-second video is people think it's going to wipe out Vine on Twitter.
I've never used Vine, so it already wiped it out for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've never personally used it either. I just recently, probably in the last 3 months, got into even using Twitter, so a little behind on that one. But I don't use video. I don't have a need for it, really. I don't have a smartphone, so I can't be out in the middle of nowhere recording weird stuff anyway, so.
I don't have much of a need for tweetering either.
For tweetering?
Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't. But
apparently most people do.
No, I'm saying they don't tweeter.
Oh.
Most people do Twitter.
Oh.
Oh. Twittery. But that's their big reveal. I don't think Instagram and Vine, I don't think they're going to be hashing it out over video. Some people that use Instagram are going to continue to use Instagram. The people that use Twitter are going to use Twitter. No big deal.
I think what might happen is, I mean, it could wipe out Vine, because people like you and I who aren't paying attention to Twitter and Vine and all that, now we know about this video ability.
Yeah.
And we might start using it. All these people that just use Facebook and Instagram might start using it, and then they're going to, you know, that might, I don't know, that might cause a shift. But
yeah, I guess you're right there.
I'll tell you what, though, it's annoying, though, because now all I hear, instead of my wife reading like news stories and things about what's going on Facebook to me in the car. Now I'm hearing it. So
that is annoying.
On the way home from the family reunion today, I had at least heard 3 or 4 Justin Bieber clips.
Oh, that's terrible. Man.
And they were like pointless. It was like one of them was, I think I'm going to fall down the stairs. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fall down the stairs.
Good for you.
And then it was over. I'm like,
that's
awesome. That's the big.
Everyone thinks that their video is going to be phenomenal, but it's 15 seconds. I mean, what all could you do in 15 seconds? The only thing that really makes me worry is that all the scandal behind the PRISM thing and the NSA and surveillance and stuff like that with Facebook, and now Facebook owns Instagram, therefore the videos that you put on there are probably monitored. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so
I don't see any conspiracy. I just see a bunch of people putting stupid videos up they're going to regret later.
Well, that's true with anything really on the internet. Absolutely. So that's their thing. Crowdsourcing, we've talked a lot about, and I read this the other day. It's finally accepted as a word in the dictionary. 3 different dictionaries actually accepted crowdsourcing as a word.
And that's not very exciting, but to me it's more exciting than the Facebook reveal.
Yeah, that's way more exciting to me than anything Facebook. I think it's interesting how people can create words, and eventually they end up in our dictionary. It's funny, and people say that English is a hard language, and that's probably why. Mm-hmm. Changing words all the time.
Just wait until we start taking letters out of words from the texting and all that.
Oh man,
we're just going to start modifying the words to be vowelless.
That's a pretty good thought, because I see that happening. Dictionary. Yeah, THX for thanks. That'll be in the dictionary. Mm-hmm. Wow. Another resource I came across and wanted to tell everybody about was called Odesk, and this is it's the world's largest online workplace. You can go there, and if you're a business owner or if you're a freelancer, you can go there and post a job. You can get a job, and a lot of it is worked on right on this Odesk. So say there's a job on there for a logo that needs to be made. You can go on there, get the information, and then you upload all your files right to Odesk, and whoever wants the job done can see your progress. So it's kind of like a project management system where you can set up goals and milestones and things like that right on Odesk.
Elance has been doing this for quite a while. They've been around since I was in college, which is like 2 or 10 years ago, depending on how old I want to be at the moment. But this looks really nice.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, anything new to me like that and done well, it seems like it's done really well, is worth checking out. Whether you're going to use it or not, why not take a look? I think it's free to sign up, but I'm sure at some point you have to pay money. I don't know. I didn't check into that. I have a job, so I haven't really looked into it. So.
Yeah, I think they take money off the top. I think that's what Elance does too. I think when the sale is made, usually what they do, at least on Elance, is you have like an escrow account. So the person with the job, posting the job, has already put the money into an account to make sure, because in the beginning with Elance, there was a really high rate of people getting screwed over doing the work and not getting paid. So now the people who post the jobs have to actually put that money into an escrow account so that you, as the person being employed, have a much better feeling about doing the job and actually getting paid.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So once the person who posted the job feels like it's been done, they hit the complete, it's complete button, and the money gets released to the doer.
Oh, that's kind of like how Fiverr does it too. Mm-hmm. Fiverr's got their little countdown. As soon as you click order, and as soon as you give them the information that they need to complete the order, they start the clock. And then, once it reaches the clock, I had that happen the other day with something that I ordered. Actually, it reached the due date and then went past that, and I still had another day, I think, before it would have been canceled, and I would have got my money back. But I think if they were late, it was like a 2-day thing, and it was 3 days it took them, I should still get my money back because, in fact, I paid extra to have it done in 2 days. So,
I didn't realize I did that. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. Let's run to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and talk some real tech news that people can use. So we'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Need a do-it-yourself with your website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design gurus.
Justin the Geek. Break it up. On the ones and twos.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, again, I'm here with Alan. He called me on that. I said we'll be back with on Live Speak with Justin the Geek, and he says, and Alan. So sorry about that, Alan. You are here.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
I just wanted to throw it in there.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We have some good tech news, so let's get right into the old tech news stories. First one that you actually brought up was the Adobe Creative Cloud. We talked about that on the last show that I did, To the Cloud and Beyond, about how Adobe decided they wanted to put their software in the cloud and make it more secure and more available. And the biggest thing there was secure. And as you pointed out, that of course those have now been cracked and are now torrents, and everybody's downloading them illegally.
Yeah, from what I read, it seemed like the day after they were released. That's how quick it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess.
I think it's kind of.
Yeah, I don't understand really what they thought would have made it secure is that you still have to download the software. Like, it's on the cloud and everything, and I've had to do it at work and install it. It's not like you just go to the website and it installs, or you use it on the website. You have to go and download it to your computer, meaning a temp file gets created, which you can then go and take and put it on a CD.
The Creative Cloud software really isn't cloud software by any means.
No, it's not.
It's just very connected to the cloud, I guess.
Yeah, and it just helps them with monitoring too, with your subscription. They know when you're gonna, if you're a monthly subscriber or if you're a yearly subscriber, they know when to check in with you and send you updates and things like that. But they really
essentially
did think
cracking it.
Yeah,
it's about the same. Before it was figuring out a way to kill the activation, the little ping to Adobe's activation thing.
Yeah, and actually,
it's basically the same thing they got to do with this one.
That's a pretty easy process too, which is really funny to me. And the fact that we'll call this version 7 of the Creative Suites, and it's been forever. They haven't figured it out yet. They should know. It's a very easy crack. I've seen it before. I don't know. I think it might just
be another excuse for them to continue with this model. They probably already know. They probably get it. They know it's going to be cracked, but they got to have as many excuses to get the people protesting to shut up.
That's true.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like the fact that I can pay for it. And it doesn't really end up, if you were to buy the new versions that came out along the way, there's a good chance that you're going to spend just as much or less doing it this way than you did before. Assuming you were staying up to date with each version, which most people didn't. Most people got like Creative Cloud 1 or Creative Suite 1 and held on to that until like 4 came out. But still, it's nice to have everything updated all the time. One thing that I remember when I first bought my first copy, which was Creative Suite 1 of Adobe. Now, granted, I've been using it way before that, but was the support. Being able to actually log in, get support and things like that was really nice, and be able to get patches when they come out and all that.
Right.
Those are things you lose out when you pirate.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Pirating bad. Unless you're broke.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you're really broke and you feel like breaking laws, go for it.
Yeah.
The other thing, I'm going to let you talk about this, but you brought up was a pretty interesting thing to me, is the Google Street View data scandal.
Yeah, it seems like I think it was only in the UK, or at least that we know of. But one of the guys that either drove the car, or there's also people that have a backpack with the camera or cameras, little globe thing attached to it. One of the people doing that decided to write a little something that hacked into all the unsecure Wi-Fi networks along the way. So basically anybody walking around with a smartphone that had a hotspot on, or, you know, any insecure, you know, unpassword protected Wi-Fi at a restaurant or anything like that, anything in the area, he was tapping into and taking data. No, I don't really know what that data was. Was it photos? Was it just statistics? I don't know. I don't know what it was, but he was stealing it. And now Google has, I think, I don't remember what the, they had a certain amount of time before they have to delete or prove that they've deleted all this data.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget what that was.
Either way, am I going to trust that they've gotten rid of it? Honestly, no.
Well, and the thing to point out, though, is that it wasn't actually Google who did it. It was the person who was working for Google.
Right.
That did it.
So
I think he has the actual data. Google doesn't have the data, as far as we know. I think he was doing some...
I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm figuring that Google probably has it, and they hired him. That's just my brain, how it works, though. At least it's in the UK that we know about. Either way, though, that's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that they could... I have never seen the Google vehicle, so I have no idea
haven't either.
When they would go by and steal my information anyway.
What was funny the other day, sad at the same time, but I realized I was looking at the Grand Canyon on Google Maps, Street View, whatever, and I noticed that you can actually do Street View on some of the paths through the Grand Canyon.
Really?
So I was like, all right, well, I'm lazy, and I'll probably never I might go to the Grand Canyon, but I'm not going to hike. So I'll just hike on Google Street View. But at one point in my little journey there, there was a guy in front of the other guy with one of those backpacks on. So you actually saw the Google guy with the big globe on it. I'm not sure why they were there at the same time, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is.
It's just he had like a big hiking backpack, and then this long pole with a globe looking like a sphere with a bunch of what I assume are lenses.
That's so weird.
That'd be a terrible job.
It would be.
For someone like me, anyway. But I've heard they're doing this a lot. They're going to places like remote places, like islands and things like that now, and they're using these backpacks and walking around tracking that now. So you can go to these crazy islands that most of us don't even know exist, and go walk around. Well, quote, walk around them. I just did the bunny ears. But yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of new stuff with Google Maps has a new version coming out anyway. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, well, and also, this isn't really part of this story, but I don't know if you saw this. Google actually released a bunch of, I don't know how many, but a bunch of hot air balloons. Not the hot air balloon, but not like the kind that we see with people in them.
Right. Like a weather balloon.
Yeah, more like a weather balloon. And they had little hotspots in them. And they put them up in like third world countries, places that don't have internet connection. Huh. And apparently they're going to stay up. They stay up for about 100 days. I think, don't quote me on that. But basically Google said something like there's like 5 billion people or something in the world that do not have access to the internet, and they want to fix that.
Wow. That's quite the adventure.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll get my revenue up on YouTube. Maybe Chad can now join.
You can throw that on the map.
I can throw Chad on the map, the only country that is not watching one of my videos.
That's funny.
Come on, Chad.
Wow.
Chad.
Well, talking about other adventures, I want to talk about Microsoft and their epic fail. Their Windows Blue, or Windows 8.1, as they were calling it. A lot of promises, a lot of lost promises there. The biggest one, of course, was that there was going to be a start button. And everyone's thinking...
No, there is one.
No, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, start button. That's amazing. They got a button there. It's not a start menu. No, it's all in the... It's just a button.
Yeah, it just opens up the Metro thing.
Yeah.
So...
And that makes no sense. And the other thing is, like they said, you can have it open to any other window, or you can have it start, anywhere you want. Except when you go, instead of, normally we'll open the Metro interface, the search thing when you start Windows 8. Now you can have it start either the apps or the Metro. You can't start it on the desktop. So that's what that's what everybody assumed. That's what I assumed.
Yeah, from what I read, they were thinking that most of the people complaining that their problem was the overall need to go to the bottom left corner to click on something. They didn't realize that we actually wanted the other part of it.
Yeah.
We don't care. I don't care where you put the button or if there even is a button. I want the menu.
I want to be able to access
programs in
everything.
a little tiny menu that doesn't cover up my entire screen. The thing that I've been used to for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it's really, I still think that it's a huge fail period because it's 2 operating systems on top of one. It's your Metro and then your Windows 8. So why not just have the option to turn the Metro off if you want? I don't want to see that ever again on my computer. Turn it off. That's fine. But they don't give you that option. It's annoying. And like you said, and you've showed me before, and I actually use it at work, is the start menu alternative. There's a couple. There's a classic shell, which it works sometimes. But this other one called Pokey or Pocky, I don't know. I want to call it Pokey. It's free.
Yeah, it stopped working on my laptop at some point. I think I need to uninstall it, but the button's still there, but it doesn't do anything. I thought maybe Windows did something to disable it, but
stopped working on yours, huh?
What are you doing to your microphone, buddy?
Oh, nothing. It was the headset. It just fell off my desk.
Oh, all right. But yeah, it still works on my touchscreen computer, but yeah, and I agree with John. Windows 7, I think I'm going to go ahead and put that on my laptop.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there now that people are putting videos out and walkthroughs and tutorials on how to make your Windows 8 look like Windows 7 and act like Windows 7. And there's a few ways of doing it. One is with the startup, you can actually do a scheduled task and have every time someone logs in, when they log in, it runs explorer.exe. And that will start up the desktop. So you don't have to see the Metro ever again. But the problem with that is it goes to the desktop, and if you don't have a start menu, then there's not really too much you can do.
Yeah, and at first I thought, I'm just whining about it because it's change and boo hiss change. But I really don't use my laptop at all, and it's because it's annoying. I don't know, the workflow. It sounds ridiculous, but not having that start menu there, having to navigate through that stupid screen and all that, I don't like it. So I just prefer to use this aging desktop.
One of the other things, noises. The big complaint that people are having, and I don't think it's a good idea, is that they are making the SkyDrive mandatory. And so everything that you save on Windows 8.1 is going to be saved to SkyDrive, and you can't use,
everything?
Everything. So
are you sure about that?
I don't know about everything, but everyone's talking about how it's going to be insecure and how people are going to have direct access to save stuff outside their network. Like for me at my work, if there's important information or something like that, they're going to have direct access to save it to the SkyDrive. From what I read is you can't disable that feature.
Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's bad.
So if there's any accounting information or anything in a company and you have this 8.1, somebody can just save it to their SkyDrive, get it at home, and then send it out or whatever. And that's
I'm thinking back to when I was working tech support, and I won't name the company, but most of us there, well, not most of us, but the majority of people there, I don't know, I guess I just said the same thing twice. So I guess there was a lot of people. I think I'm trying to not include myself when I say that. You didn't really have to know much about what we were doing to work this job. I happened to be overqualified, but I hadn't had a salary job in my life, and I just thought that was exciting, so I took it.
Oh.
But I could see that it'd be really easy for someone to, come to work, come to their computer and think, oh, cool, I'll just save this on my SkyDrive. And you're right, drag, important, client files, things like that, things that are, bad.
Yeah, it's risky. And the fact, again, it's Microsoft. They say that it's our way or the highway, like they did with Internet Explorer. They just put it right into the operating system and told people that's what you're using. And that's what they're trying to do here, except people have options now, and they don't want to use that. I want to use my Google Drive. That's what I'm used to. I like Google Docs. And if they're going to tell me I have to use SkyDrive, I'm not going to. I'm just going to be using Windows 7 forever. So It's just
nice thing is that majority of companies, I think, are still using XP, so that move will be a long time coming.
Oh yeah, I agree. Another thing that you brought up was the Google Glass. They just had their first recorded surgery using Google Glass.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't seem to be anything official. It was just one doctor who had the privilege to get a set of those. He decided to use them in his surgery. I don't know exactly. I don't know everything that he did with them, but one thing he did was record everything he was doing, which is a little bit on the gross side. But
yeah,
but it's kind of cool from his point of view, and that would help him more than anything to go back and review what he did. Things like that, firsthand, from his point of view.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And, while he's doing it, too, the idea behind it, too, is that while he's going through here, he can say, I can't remember the thing is that you have to say to Google Glass, but I think it's, hey, Google, take a screenshot, or hey, Google, take a picture, or start recording, or start, so a lot of it's automated stuff that he could be doing eventually with surgery. So that's a cool thing that he started doing that, but...
what might be nice is when they, if they can start tying that into the systems that he's using, the monitors and all that, so that he can get a readout in the in the right hand corner. I think that's where it's at.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like danger. Yeah,
blood pressure and all that stuff. You probably could.
Yeah, things like that. That's why I say it wasn't really official. It was really just him, deciding to wear the glasses while he did the thing.
Yeah, we won't see too much. I don't think too many official things with Google Glass for a little while, because only, like you said, a handful of people can get it. They're $1,500, and only Google's giving them out to a certain people.
Yeah, a friend of ours actually has one. She lives in California. Her boyfriend, I won't mention his name, but he's apparently an important person, and she ended up scoring a pair of those to try out.
Wow.
A little jealous there.
I'd like to have a set of those. We were talking the other day too, and I sent this out on Facebook, and it's up to you if you want to sign it or not. But I'm, of course, I'm all about surveillance, and not surveillance, but against surveillance. And there's this opt-in for a coalition against the NSA surveillance on. It was on my Firefox the other day, and the link actually is, I think it's optin.stopwatching.us. And you just go in there and you can read the official statement that's being sent to the senators and things like that, to have basically have the NSA tell us what they're doing. It's demanding that the U.S. Congress reveals the full extent of the NSA's spying programs and letting us know what they're doing with the information they're getting, where it's going, and things like that. Now, I understand to a point, if they're going to call it national security, they can't tell us everything, but I want to know why they need my information. I want that to be explained to me, and why they need to have my emails and my phone calls and my Skype chats and things like that. I want to know. And so there's a full letter to the U.S. Congress you can read on that website. And I'll put that on the show notes afterwards as well if you guys want to go to that. But I think it's pretty important if you want your, protect your security online, because once it's opened, once you open that floodgate of surveillance and stuff, who knows what they can do with it. So there you have it.
They can't find me in my basement.
Yeah, you're off the grid, though.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm under the grid.
You're not really even Alan Quant. That's just the name we give you.
Yeah. I wasn't really at a Quant reunion earlier.
Oh, that's good. So now they know where all of them are. Great.
No, I sent a decoy.
Oh, you have one of those. That's good, man.
Yeah, I found another tall person.
Well, let's run to a quick commercial, and then we'll come back. We have a couple of Kickstarter projects that we want to share with you guys and give you some advice if you feel like investing in some things. So we'll be right back here on Live Speak with Justin the Geek and Alan Quant.
Getting an amazing education is a must, but going to classes and listening to boring teachers can be very painful and expensive. Luckily, we have the internet, but it is so hard to find courses that are high quality, cheap, and easily accessible. Not anymore, thanks to Udemy. Udemy is the online academy for you. At Udemy, you can find hundreds of great courses from world-class instructors. You can learn stuff like how to create awesome demo videos cheaply, how to program in Python, Ruby, or HTML, how to start your own company, even how to wiggle your feet to the rhythm of salsa. But what if you want to teach others what you know? No problem. Udemy makes it super easy to create your own course in a few steps. Just create an account for free, give your course a name, Upload all your content in any format: video, audio, PowerPoint, Word, PDF. Publish it, and voila! It's now accessible to anyone, at any time, all over the world. You can even set a price for your course so you can make some money. Learn anything, teach anything at Udemy, the Academy of You.
You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody, again to Live Speak with Justin the Geek and Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. Again, to let you know, we're going to have comedian Philippe Schafer on the show here in just a minute. But we decided we want to do a new segment of Kickstarter projects. And for those that don't know, Kickstarter is kind of it's a website. How would you classify it, Alan? How would you say?
I don't know. You just talked about it.
I know, but it's like
it's a crowdfunding site.
Yeah, it's a crowdfunding. Not crowdsourcing, but it's a crowdfunding. So you put your project up there or whatever you want to get done. Say it's like for Alan, it'd be a music album for his band. You put that up there and say, we need, $20,000 to do an album, to do the cover, the studio time. And then if you invest, say $5, we'll say thank you. If you invest $20, we'll give you a CD when it comes out. So there's incentives for people that invest in things like that. And there are some really good projects on there. And some of the ones that I found recently, the first one I found, the 3D Doodler. I wasn't really sure if that's, I don't know. I kind of wanted your opinion on that, Alan. What do you think that's actually worth? They wanted $30,000 and they ended up getting $2.3 million. So they definitely got way more money than they expected.
I think it's interesting, but it's got a long way to go.
It really does. For those that don't know, it's a pen that writes in 3D. So what it does is it basically spits out hot plastic in a really thin...
It's kind of like a hot glue gun.
Yeah, it looks you're right. It does look like a hot glue gun, but with really thin colored
it's
plastic.
Like a hot glue gun in the shape of a soldering gun.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it looks like a little soldering pen.
Yeah, it's... and they wanted, I don't know how much it's going to cost when they make it or things like that, but they wanted $30,000, and this one ended, of course, but they ended up getting $2.3 million. Which,
I think the problem they're going to have with it is that, sorry, I cut you off, but that's cool. It looks more like a child's toy, but at the same time, I highly doubt it's a child's toy.
Right.
With the heat needed to produce what it's doing. But I mean, the projects that they're making and things are kind of childlike. And if they can make that in the form that, in a safe way for a child, it'd be really great. But I think what I would love to do with it, I'd love to see with it, is being able to actually not necessarily sculpt, but build something up solid and being able to draw on features, things like that. What they're doing seems to be more like strung together pieces of melted plastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I could actually sculpt something, bring it, I don't know. I can't, I'm doing things with my hands that you guys can't see. But I'm trying to explain. I talk a lot with my hands and it doesn't translate very well.
Not on radio, no.
But yeah, I'd love to be able to have a little more control over it and make something a little more fine-tuned. But it's a really cool idea, and it's actually more like a portable 3D printer is really what it is. If anybody's seen an actual 3D printer, that's all it's doing. It's squeezing out melted, like a coil of melted plastic, gets fed in, and it just kind of melts it and puts it in the spot where it's supposed to be. So it's kind of like a handheld version of that.
Yeah. And if you watch the video on that Kickstarter, it shows them like drawing a 3D cube, and it's terrible. You draw a square, and then you build up the side rungs, and then you put the top on it, and it's just, it just looks like they're dribbling plastic everywhere. So it's got a long way to go.
This is a good way to kick off the great Kickstarter projects segment.
Yeah, I guess, right?
I don't like it.
Well, that's why I had a question mark next to it, because I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this. And it's interesting. I just wanted to show that it's got $2.3 million, so I'm sure they could do something with that amount of money.
Does it have a start button?
Probably not. That's going to be in the 0.1 in the Doodler Blue that comes out.
As long as they promise it.
Yeah. No, there's a couple other ones. This Helios bars, and I say this one because living near Portland, public transportation's huge here, and there's a lot of bicycle riders here. And this actually comes from Sacramento, California. The creator of this is his name's Kenny Gibbs. He's a young guy, and it seems, pretty simple. The guy wanted $70,000 and ended up getting $120,000 for handlebars that have lights in them. It sounds really basic, but they're the colors. If you watch the video, the colors actually of the lights change depending on your speed, depending on if you're stopping or going, and it's got blinkers on it, and it's got a headlight, of course, so people can see you. But the other thing, it's got a GPS in it, so if you lose your bike or if somebody steals it, you can find it.
That would be convenient.
Which is really nice, so you don't have to, I would still lock my bike up because somebody just takes the handlebars off and throws them away. they take the whole bike.
That's true. Well, I'm sure these are going to be expensive, so maybe that's all you want back. Screw the bike.
Can I just have my
Get
handlebars,
my
please?
$30,000 handlebars back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, who knows what they're going to charge for them? It's a really cool looking product, and I think that would have been one to back. And they got a lot of reviews for that one, and I guess I just missed it. I thought that one actually didn't end yet, but it did on June 20th. So
yeah, no, that's pretty cool though. In a place like Fort Wayne here, we have, I don't know when the law that you couldn't ride a bike on a sidewalk went into effect. Maybe it's always been there, and when I was a kid I just didn't care. I don't know.
What?
But it seems to be. Is that a law there in Portland?
I don't know. I never thought of it. I see people riding all over the place. So
yeah, you have to ride on the street now, and we only have a handful of streets in the city that have a little bike lane. I remember when I lived in Orlando, we had bike lanes everywhere. Same with Tallahassee, especially Tallahassee had them everywhere. But here in town, we don't have them. And if I'm going to have people riding bikes on the street, I would like to see turn signals and headlights and things like that. It actually isn't a bad idea.
Yeah. And it's got, there will be more functions to it. It's Bluetooth enabled. So I don't know what you can do with handlebars. It's Bluetooth enabled. So why not? Make everything Bluetooth. And I think they were talking about that, having some kind of speakers and navigation in there, but I don't know how that would work. But that one, got really, enough funding to get it going. For a young guy, I think the guy's like 22 or something, if that, to come up with an idea like that was pretty cool. So I thought I'd share this one. The next one that I saw is really interesting. It's called a shark wheel. It's a square wheel. And I know it sounds really weird, but I watched the video and I thought, a square wheel, that doesn't make any sense. But the guy came up with this idea it's not completely square. It's kind of in the shape of a square, but it rolls consistently. It rolls better than a regular wheel. So it's really weird, reinventing the wheel. Everyone talks about that, but this guy really has done it, and it's a really strange looking wheel. But it's amazing. He's using it for skateboards right now. And I don't know what else you could use it for in the future, but I think this one's still going until July 8th, and I think he actually, he's asked, he already made it. He pledged, or he wanted $10,000, and he has $60,000. He still has till July 8th, so he's got a good amount of money. I think this one actually, as you'll see on Kickstarter, some people have basically finished their project and want you to fund making it. This guy has made it, but he needs to fill an order in order to get it mass produced. So that's what he's looking for.
That's cool.
Yeah. So watch the video on that one, because it'll blow your mind, because you wouldn't think that it even rolls in the slightest, but it does. It's creepy. You remember the Pocket TV that I showed you on Kickstarter? I'm sure there's probably more than one of these out there, but as soon as this comes out, I'm buying one, because what it is it's a little, it's about the size of a flash drive or a thumb drive, and it plugs into the HDMI port on your TV, and then turns your TV into a smart TV. So it'll actually run the Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich operating system on your TV. Plus, it has wireless in the adapter, so you can use that to stream Netflix. You can watch YouTube. You can do anything a smart TV can do just by plugging this little thing in. And that to me is awesome.
That's nice. Yeah, we ended up buying a Blu-ray player that had smart TV-ish functionality to it.
Yeah.
But, although, it's cheaper than a smart TV, but still it was about $130, $140.
Right. See, and the problem, my parents bought a Blu-ray player that had that in there, and it has a really terrible wireless card in there. So their wireless signal is actually down in the basement, so it doesn't get strong enough wireless to even stream Netflix. It stops all the time, things like that.
Yeah,
so,
we have the same problem here. Our router is down here in the basement with me.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how strong this one is, but this guy wanted $100,000 and he got $501,000. So that one's funded, and it was supposed to go till July 9th. Well, it's still going. Oh no, it's not. That was actually last year. Holy cow! I didn't even realize that.
Good job, Justin.
Yeah, wow, way behind on that one. So maybe that is out. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I was just flipping through the most recent on Kickstarter, and this one came up. So I'm going to blame Kickstarter for that.
Boo.
So, well, at least you know it's out there now.
It's there.
Go get it. Pay for it.
I found it on, I don't know how to say their name. I have a Bluetooth keyboard. It's a little handheld. It looks about the size of a TV remote. And I was showing you that yesterday, Justin. And I actually, as we were talking about this Pocket TV, ironically, when I went to go see if there was some support for the keyboard I have, and one of the other products this company makes, they're called like Favi or Favi, F-A-V-I, and they had one of these little Pocket TVs. They're about the size of a thumb drive, and they go for about $39, I think. So that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Well, so those are some of the Kickstarters. I don't know if you've seen any other ones, Alan, or not, but those are the ones that I could quickly come up with because we just decided to do that. Good Kickstarter projects.
I like the other ones better.
The other ones are way better.
The ones coming up?
Yeah, the ones coming up after we bring on Philippe. We're going to go to a quick music break, and then when we come back, we'll bring on Philippe Schafer, the stand-up comedian, get him on the show finally so he doesn't run away and never come back to the show again. So we'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek and Alan Quan.
Poke and and bring your pork and beans.
Justin the Geek. Break it up, break it up, break it up. On the ones and twos.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek and Alan Quant, of course, from digitalcraft.com. I wanted to play real quick. I have a couple audio tracks from Philippe, and they're really funny, so I'm going to get right into one of them here, and you guys can listen to some of his stand-up, and then we'll bring him onto the show. So this is Philippe Schafer. This skit here is called Intimacy.
You know what, guys? I'm trying to be more intimate with girls. It's not something that I'm really good at. Trying to get better at. You know, when you're laying in bed with a girl and they'll kind of hit you with that little pop quiz. Like I was laying in bed with this girl and she's like, "Can you tell me something that you've never told anybody before?" Shit, I don't know. Kind of think George Clooney's gay. Never really told anybody that before. She's like, no, dummy, something about you. I don't know. Kind of want to fuck George Clooney. I don't know. Never really. I work as a teacher during the week. It's great. Kids are dicks, but you know what? I really love watching the students flirt with each other. Right, because some of these kids way better at it than adults are. Some of these kids just masters at communication. Like, to give you an example, I saw this one kid. He went up to this girl. I guess he had like a little bit of a crush on her. He goes up to her and he says, "Hey, white shorts, let me smash that pussy." I was like, hey, that is an honest man right there. That is crystal clear communication. Amazing. No girl's gonna go up to her friends and be like, "So what do you think he means by that?" I had no idea he just wanted to have sex with me.
Welcome back. That was Philippe Schafer. Cracks me up. I was not really expecting the punchline in one of those, but hey, it's hilarious. So that's Philippe Schafer. He's a stand-up comedian. I'm not sure what he does on his normal time, but he also has a course on udemy.com, the Beginner's Guide to Stand-Up Comedy. So welcome, everybody, to the show. This is Philippe Schafer. How you doing, Philippe?
Hey, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. So what I got to know, what do you do for a living besides comedy?
I coach high school and collegiate athletes.
Oh. Well, that's nice of you. That's totally not what I expected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's great. Yeah, I get to move around a lot. I have trouble sitting down.
That's good. That's good. That's completely opposite of me. I love sitting.
I have a lot of difficulty. I was an industrial engineer when I graduated college. That didn't work out too well.
Oh. Yeah, that's probably a lot of sitting.
Yeah,
a
lot of computer work.
A lot. Well, we wanted to get you on here before we did these Kickstarters because we have the opposite, and you actually have looked at some of the ones that I sent you to, which is, and these are Kickstarter fails.
I'm all for these new Kickstarter ones. These are better.
Yeah, these are your favorites. These are the ones that you've actually donated to them. So more power to you.
Yeah, man. A handlebar with Bluetooth has got nothing on these guys. Square wheel.
Yeah. Well, the first one that we came up with there, it's called the Stealth Bar. And I ran across this. Yeah, and it just cracked me up because what it is, it's a remote control. That's what it is. It takes all the buttons away, and it's looks like a stealth bomber. And these guys want $34,000 for this remote. And if you see the remote, which I'm going to paste a link in the chat here so you can take a look, it's terrible.
What are you talking about?
$100 or more, you can get your face on it. So that's
Oh, I didn't see that incentive.
You see that? Oh, come on. That's the best part. I'm all for that.
Now I'm donating.
And now for $10,000, they're going to design the new shape of the Stealth Bar 2 and call it your name, and they'll start the production. So if I give them 10 grand, they'll call the Stealth Bar 2 Justin.
That is totally worth 10 grand.
So I cannot believe this, and I saw this and I showed it to Alan last night, and Alan's like, I think they're joking. And I showed it to Philippe, and he's like, I don't think so. And I don't think they are either. I think they're 100% real because Philippe actually
I think it's
found,
real.
Yeah, I mean...
You have no idea how disappointed I would be if they were joking.
This thing is just, it looks like crap. In the video, it just is terrible.
The little 3D renders are amazing, though. Those are great. But the video, it just looks like the button looks like a little piece of duct tape.
Yeah.
Black duct tape.
But, I mean, it's got a can opener, right? Or a bottle
you
opener.
Can't beat that.
It's just, who wouldn't want a bottle opener on the back of the remote?
Yeah, this is Kickstarter number 2 for this guy.
Yeah, this first one. This is funny because I didn't look into any past this because I saw this and I just laughed. I couldn't take it seriously. But Philippe actually looked through and found that he had another project before this, and this is the one. The one before it was when he was in Russia, right?
Yeah,
before he moved.
Right, so he was able to make it to the United States after the first one.
Yeah, so the first one was a wooden mosaic world time clock with 10-hour hands, and this again. I mean, I'm going to paste that one so you guys can see that too. This is actually really, I mean, it looks nice. I'll give him that. This first one looks pretty decent, and then as you go down in the Kickstarter, Philippe pointed this out, is that he's got cell phone covers for iPhones, iPhone 4, 4S, and 5, and it looks like a wooden veneer, and it looks nice. The guy did a good job on those. I think, like Philippe said, just go with that. You know what I mean? Why do you have a clock? It's just insane. And this guy wanted for the clock, how much did he even want for the clock? $26,000. He got $152.
Oh, so it wasn't successful.
No, this one was not.
Oh, so I figured maybe he did that one because he thought, maybe I can make enough money to move to America where I could sell somebody a buttonless remote.
Well, yeah, he had to do something.
Live my dream.
He had to do something in between there, though, right? I mean, like Philippe said, I didn't notice either that he was in St. Petersburg, Russia, when he was doing this clock thing. And then the stealth bar, he is in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. And he gained employees also.
Yeah, he got...
in the second Kickstarter.
Yeah, the second Kickstarter, he actually has more people working for him.
Does he have job openings? I want to get on the ground floor of this thing, man.
I can do it. Actually, the guy who the project is by, Victor, is not the front man in the video, so I guess he hired some people that are more charismatic than he is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the guy, if you look through, it's the marketing director who's in charge of this whole thing. This was his job, this Kickstarter project.
I just can't believe it, though. I mean, and people are giving him money. They've made $2,418 so far, 142 people, and Philippe is one of them.
Yeah.
Minimum pledge on Kickstarter is $1. So
all for it. I'm getting a remote control with my face on it, guys.
I'm on the 2.0 Allen, man. That's sounding pretty tight.
Wonder what kind of bottle opener you'll have on the number 2.
Civilization's going to be gone one day, and aliens are going to come here, and they're going to find this.
Yep.
And they're going to be amazed.
They're going to say, what have we done for so long? We finally came up with this stealth remote. In the video, too, you have got to watch the video for the stealth thing, because halfway through they get really serious, and they wear all military BDUs, and they start talking about stealth technology and how it's been proven and things like that. And I'm thinking, it's a remote, dude. Nobody's even trying to get your remote from you. So why do you have to have a stealth remote?
I don't know. I've had a history of taking remote controls before.
Well, I understand. Well, yeah, I've heard those stories from Alan. Among other things, that's just a funny prank, by the way. Taking people's remotes from them. I've lost remotes. That's fine. But now, if I have a stealth one, am I never going to see it? Am I going to lose it all the time?
That's the brilliance of it.
I guess
you can't lose what you never saw.
And during the video, there was this part where the girl throws the remote at the guy. I don't know what that was about. That part of the stealth thing, when your man leaves the room, you can hit him in the back of the head.
I guess. Didn't see it coming. I don't know. I guess they were trying to show that this piece of duct tape was indestructible. As we all know, duct tape is.
This actually looks like it was done with a 3D printer.
With the middle of the country.
What? You both were talking at the exact same time.
Oh. It's probably doing wonders with the middle of the country. They might be interested in this.
And that's the funny part is they are kind of playing to that. And the fact that they're like, yeah, you have a bottle opener because all you want to do is sit on your couch and drink beer. So
I'm in the middle of the country. What are we talking about here?
Well, do you have it yet? Have you? See, Philippe's already on board. You're not. So
I told you I'm waiting until 2.0 comes out.
I'm making this happen. Guy's a genius. He has 3 employees. Imagine if he had a good product.
Yeah, no. I love it too because they have their Facebook profile on the page and it always shows like how many friends they have next to it. And this guy has 75 friends.
And they all work for him.
They must. Oh, he has a website. I wonder what he's going to have on that next. But that's some of the crappy Kickstarters that we have found on Kickstarter.com. And there are a ton like that. So we'll have plenty of those every week. Besides those ones, I did find that there was actually a story, and I never got to see the Kickstarter itself, but this is a story about this misogynist guy who actually started a guide to a seduction guide on Kickstarter. And it was basically a guide on how to get women into bed. And Kickstarter didn't catch it, and it was pretty bad. It was not how to sweet talk a woman and give them flowers and things like that. It was basically how you take advantage of a woman. And
where you buy roofies from, or what?
Basically, I mean, it's really, really creepy. And this guy, he actually ended up getting $16,000 to fund this book before anybody caught on to it. You know, and so this whole offensive seduction guide thing.
I would love to see the video of it. There's none of it on YouTube or anything like that.
I don't know. I've been looking. I saw this in the Huffington Post, and I'll post this link in the show notes, or I'll throw it in the chat right now. But there's actually the guy in the video. If you see the picture that they have,
he's kind of creepy looking.
He is kind of creepy.
Yeah, his hair is a little outdated by 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had that hairstyle at one point when I had hair.
But I mean, Kickstarter admitted that they were wrong. And they should have caught it, but they didn't. So here's the thing: is that guy got the $16,000, and it's his. They can't.
I'm curious.
It back.
Did he actually break? I mean, aside from being offensive, did he actually break any Kickstarter rules?
It doesn't have any in here because Kickstarter didn't have any in place.
What are Kickstarter rules? Oh yeah, they don't have anything.
No, not for that. I mean, they said that it rattled the company enough so that they changed their guidelines to prohibit any seduction guides or anything similar. So I don't know what they're going to do to change that. But they also donated $25,000 to an anti-sexual violence organization called RAINN, RAINN.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Let's see. This actually drew fire almost. Oh, it was because that was a big part on Reddit too, as he was posting it all over Reddit, trying to get money and get people over the Kickstarter, and it basically talks about being a caveman, and you got to club the woman upside the head and just take her. So a lot of people didn't really like that so much. $16,000 into the guy's bank account because
did he actually write the book?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. He said the upcoming book. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that.
He just blew away his goal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, I guess Kickstarter's going to have some rules. I can't believe that they would not have rules as long as Kickstarter's been around.
They got rules I don't like. They don't let you fund a website project. I didn't like that.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's why I had to switch to Indiegogo when I was doing campaigns.
I wonder why they wouldn't let you do that. Huh.
But I could write a misogynist guide though.
Yeah, why not?
As long as it's not a website.
As long as it's not a website. It's got to be a book.
Yes. Must be paper.
Well, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back, and we'll talk about Philippe's new course on Udemy and what it can do for you other than just stand-up comedy. So we'll be right back with Philippe Schafer on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Do you like the sound of my commercials? Do you want a commercial? Do you want to play it on your show? Then head over to Mike Wagner at Fiverr.com. Get yours produced now. www.fiverr.com/MWagner. Get fast, friendly, professional commercials at an affordable price. You provide the script, or we will write one for you. Tell us what special effects you need, or we can add one for you. Check out our features to make your commercials sound great. Go to www.fiverr.com/MWagner and get your commercial done today. www.fiverr.com/MWagner. Also affiliated with www.MikeWagnerVoiceover.com. Stop Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for Computer Repair for Beginners and Experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now.
Warning. This show can be freaky. Justin the Geek. Whoa! Your favorite DJ. You've been warned.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, we're here with Philippe Schafer.
Hey!
Hey! So you have a course on udemy.com, and I've talked about udemy.com forever. I've had a lot of people on here from Udemy, but your course, for me, has been one of the most interesting because I love stand-up comedy. Anybody that knows me knows that I've followed it my entire life, and I love stand-up comedy. So you have a course that's about becoming a stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. And I started going through it a couple days ago, and I like it. I mean, it helps me understand what it's going to take if I wanted to. I don't have, necessarily the guts to go up on stage and do that, but what it would take to do that. And that's way more than just telling jokes, right?
Yeah, well, basically one of the things I wanted to stress, I try to say it a lot during the course, is that you have to, the only way you're going to do it is if you work really, really hard, because usually the best comedians are the ones that work the hardest. And the reason I made it is because most comedy classes are like $200 to $300, and it's completely unnecessary. You could give. Stand-up comedy is obviously very, very hard, but the steps in order to become a great comedian are very, very simple. You don't have to pay that much money to find out what they are.
Wow, they actually have courses for that much money to tell you.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
And it's because a lot. Stand-up comedy is kind of like a sort of a mystical thing to the general public. They don't really know what it takes to be a good one, so they just kind of assume, oh, it's a stand-up, I got to pay a lot of money, and that's not really the case. Right.
And me personally, like you said in your course, you got to go to open mics. Even if you don't want to be a stand-up comedian, go to open mics, man. It's fun.
Because I say one of the, if you want some insight into stand-up comedy, watch a really, really bad open mic. It is very eye-opening. Oh my goodness.
It is. It's weird because everyone is used to hearing stand-up comedy and being funny and hearing laughs and stuff. And when you go to an open mic and there's 4 people in the audience and there's a guy up there that just has a horrible routine, it's something different. It's really strange.
It's also hilarious.
It really is, yeah. Laughing for completely different reasons in the audience.
Yeah, one of the things, if you start doing stand-up, one of the basic fears is, oh, what if I get up there and, people don't laugh at my jokes, and people don't realize you have to work up to that. It's like, what if there's nobody there? That's kind of how it is when you start out. You don't get an audience. You got to talk to an empty bar room.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I used to work at a comedy club in Spokane, and I was the guy that called and gave away free tickets and annoyed people every 5 minutes, but I used to go to the shows all the time, and the open mics especially, and it's people most of the time they'd come in there and they'd have their set notes and they'd go through and work through their routine, and they'd have a spotter or something in the crowd that would tell them to move on to a next joke or something like that. Mm-hmm. But with stand-up, it's not going up on stage and just telling jokes. It really, learning stand-up, and your course especially, will help with public speaking.
Yeah.
A lot of people are terrified of public speaking, but if you can do it in that kind of way and learn from this course, I think it would help a lot of people out with their public speaking.
Yeah, I know from my experience, that's kind of the reason I started doing stand-up, is just to get better at public speaking. And the reason I did stand-up was because open mics, or comedy open mics, are probably just the easiest way to get in front of a crowd. You kind of just go there and you sign up, so you don't have to wait for a crowd to come to you. You can kind of just go to them. And what I do in the course is I kind of outline. You have to structure your jokes in a certain way so they work from a stage, because it's different from conversation, obviously. And that's kind of what the joke goes. That's kind of what the course goes over.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you another question then. I mean, kind of off topic of the course, but on stand-up comedy. What really made you get into doing stand-up comedy?
I've always been a fan of stand-up. I've always liked it. And when I worked at a defense contractor after college, and at one of those big conventions, I kind of volunteered to get up on stage and do some improv, and everybody laughed. And I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I just started doing it a little bit to help with public speaking, and I was a lot better at it than I thought I would be. And then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Wow. So you actually had the nerve to go up in front of all those people and just improv.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's really hard. So do you have any specific comedians that you really like? I mean, influences or anything like that?
The ones that I really, really like, let's see. I mean, besides the guys who are really, really famous, I mean, I've always liked, most people will point to Seinfeld or Chris Rock or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like, one guy I really like now is Bill Burr.
That's my favorite.
Comedian from Boston. And Patrice O'Neill, I mean, died a couple years ago.
Yeah.
The two guys from Boston. And a lot of guys, Washington, D.C. there's a lot of funny comedians that kind of come from here. And some guys that I've met that are really good. They're not as famous. Seton Smith, Bryson Turner. There's two guys who aren't as well known, but they're really, really good. They just really haven't, hit it big yet.
Yeah, a lot of good talent comes out of D.C. I mean, that's Chappelle came from D.C.
Chappelle, Wanda Sykes is from D.C.
Yeah, she is
from D.C.
So, I mean, I'm really glad that you didn't say Dane Cook.
No.
I mean, I used to absolutely love Dane Cook because
he's a good performer. I don't knock him that bad.
No,
but yeah, he's just not a favorite of mine.
No, see, that's my thing. I love he will entertain me, and I'll listen to his stuff because he's very entertaining and he's very boisterous and loud. But how do you feel about Carlos Mencia?
I'm not too much of a hater of him. It kind of, it's not. How am I going to say this? He's still really, really funny.
Yeah.
And kind of the reality of the situation is there's a lot of comedians that steal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the ones that and like. He's just kind of the one that admitted it.
Yeah.
I've seen him live, and he's hilarious.
Have you?
But he's not. It's obviously bad to steal jokes, but I don't know. You can't let that stuff bother you, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in stand-up comedy. If you let every little thing kind of torque your emotions, and you're not really going to get through it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you say in your course too, is to not steal jokes. Now, there's a difference between stealing jokes and adapting jokes. A lot of people are going to have the same jokes about things, about marriage and about single life and things like that.
Yeah.
But with what Carlos Mencia said was that basically he took somebody's joke and told it almost the exact same. But he delivered it differently. So I don't know how I feel about that. Joe Rogan. For most people that don't know,
you don't want to do it. I mean, there's plenty of comedians that don't, like, especially when you're coming up. You never want to steal joke. You can get your ass kicked for something like that.
Yeah, really. Somebody's working. Imagine you're working really, really hard, and you finally get a routine that works, and it's amazing. And somebody that's a little more famous than you, that has a little more exposure, takes your joke and then bumps them up more to be famous. Mm-hmm. I would hate somebody for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
And Joe Rogan,
don't do it. Don't let it bother you. Just got to keep rolling.
Yeah. And for most people who don't know, Joe Rogan from Fear Factor and the UFC is a comedian. He's a pretty filthy comedian. But
I like Joe Rogan.
I do too. But have you ever listened to Carlos Mencia and Joe Rogan right after one another? They sound identical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they sound like the same person. And they hate each other. So it's kind of funny.
I have seen, there was a YouTube clip, I'm not sure if it's up there anymore, about Joe Rogan, I think, went on stage and was confronting Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Is that still online?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he does. Joe Rogan hates him, but that's Joe Rogan for you. I mean, how much training really does it take before you go on to do a first good show? I mean, is it going to take years and years of practice before you can get a really good show, or
What do you mean by first good show?
Like where you have a perfectly made routine.
I mean,
I guess it's never perfect, but I mean one that's a good hit.
Perfect. It depends. I mean, I'm still pretty new. I've only been doing stand up for about 4 years, but it's all relative. I mean, I don't have an hour of material, but there are some people that can't do 10 minutes of material. So it's how long.
I'm sure
there are some people who. That's why you'll hear a lot of comedians that have been doing it for around 15, 20 years, and they're like, "Oh, I'm still not good at this," because there's always going to be somebody better than you.
Right. Yeah,
I'm sure it's a lot like music. We could have an amazing set and play to 5 people, or just a bad crowd, or just have a really bad night in front of a lot of good people. It's kind of a play on both the audience and your material, I think.
Yeah, and
I'd imagine
that's one of the things that I've always liked about stand-up comedy too. Is like, it's kind of gotten, and it's hard for me to say this because I'm not a stand-up comedian, but it seems like it's gotten a little easier on stand-up comedians because back in the in George Carlin's days and things like that, there were a lot of hecklers, and people hated you on stage. Now people go to stand-up comedy to laugh. They want you to be funny, so they don't really, ruin your shows as bad as they used to. But do you still get heckled?
I rarely get heckled. I would say the majority, and I kind of say this in my course, the majority of people that yell out during a comedy show it's not really malicious. People just kind of yell stuff out, and they're just kind of being obnoxious, and you don't. It also depends on the comedian.
Yeah.
I don't get it too much, but like I said, I rarely have to respond during my shows, and it's. I might be one of the few comedians who I don't mind as much. You can talk during my performance or not; it's just not going to end very well for you. It's fine if you want to, but yeah, it does annoy. There are some comedians that get incredibly annoyed because you spend a lot of time testing out your jokes and crafting your material, and if somebody interrupts you, it can completely throw you off. And it usually, if you're in the middle of like a long story, it's going to completely destroy the joke, and you can't really go back to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it can be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I guess, it kind of comes down, I know there's insult comedians and stuff that their main goal is to, roast people in the crowd. And so they're really good at hecklers, and that's part of their show. But, think of like for any kind of public speaking, if I'm trying to tell a story of any kind and somebody interrupts me, I'm going to, I'm already nervous to begin with. And if they interrupt me, I'm not going to remember where I was even going. I don't even know what I was saying before that.
Yeah, so. Recovery's got to be a really good skill to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where the practice comes in, too. If you know your routine, in your sleep, it's probably better than going up there and thinking you know it. But
that's what you got to do. You have to practice enough so that you know it in your sleep. So when you're doing a real show, because when people come to see you and they pay $20 to see you perform, you can't mess up. You kind of have to know it. So if anybody heckles you, you're going to have to be able to go back and forth between dealing with that person and back to your jokes pretty well.
Oh, yeah, right, absolutely. Well, let's run to another quick commercial here, and I want to come back and talk about with you, if that's all right, Philippe. We got some crazy news stories that I want to talk about and get your opinion on some of these that are going around the U.S. right now.
Sure.
Some of them are pretty interesting. So we'll be right back after this break here with Philippe Schafer.
Stop. Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for Computer Repair for Beginners and Experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now. Need a do-it-yourself with your website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design gurus. You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Again, I'm here with Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com and Philippe Schafer, stand-up comedian. I wanted to talk a little bit more about your course on Udemy, just to let people know how they can get to your course. I'll put a link here, actually, in the chat, and then I'll put it in the show notes afterwards. But there's normally it's $39, right?
Yes, $39.
Okay. And you made a coupon for the listeners of this show, right?
Yes, I did. It is Air Justin. Okay. All caps.
Okay. AIR Justin.
Yes, and it will be $19.
So there you go. That's $20 off for this course. That's actually really good.
Yeah, check it out.
So appreciate you doing that. Is there a limit?
Is there a limit?
Yeah.
I think the limit's like 1,000.
Okay, that's good.
So I know you have like 20,000 viewers. I just want to make sure, just to get everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect.
Now, if you want to learn how to not be funny and be extremely dry, you can watch my courses.
Yeah, right.
What are your courses on?
Web programming.
Okay.
Web development. Yeah, I have a course that's on. Most people know it's on computer repair, so you can learn how to speed up your computer instead of having to take it to the Geek Squad and spend $100 or $200 or more. It's unless you need to do that. It's kind of a boring class, but it's well worth the money.
Way to sell your course, Jeff.
Well, I know most of my audience is not computer repair guys. I know maybe 2 guys that are listening right now that are, but I don't need to sell it. It sells itself. What are you talking about? So if you go to udemy.com, if you don't have the link for his course, you can search for Philippe Schafer or just search for stand-up comedy. And it comes up.
You can go to, I have a website, www.pscomedy.com. It's on there.
Oh, there you go. That's even easier. pscomedy.com.
Yeah.
Good deal. $19 there.
Around DC, come watch me.
Yeah. I wish I could get out to DC. That's one place I want to go really bad.
It's the opposite end of the world from you.
Oh, man. So we last week, was it last week that I started the new stories? I think so. I don't know. We started these new crazy stories around the country and haven't come up with a perfect segment starter for it or a segment name for it. Kind of went with, we're just going to call it WTF News, because there's these crazy news stories going around the country, and I wanted to point some of them out. One of the first one that I came across this week, there's really not super crazy ones, but the world's ugliest dog competition is going on, and I just can't believe that that's actually competition.
Can we get a link? I gotta see.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this. Be prepared, because these dogs they're definitely in the right competition.
Yeah, that first dog that comes up is. What
Let's see.
Are those whiskers or?
I don't know what those are, but they are. Gosh, there's some ugly dogs.
I don't want to hit play.
I mean, it's held every summer, and it's been going. This has happened for 25 years, and it happens in Petaluma, California, at the Dog Lovers Festival. In the winter,
25. Are there ugly dog breeders? Are there people that kind of this is like this thing?
That's another good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's an easier way than trying to get the best looking dog. You can just make your dog really ugly. I don't know.
Yeah, some of these dogs. I mean, the look is definitely meditated.
Yeah.
Some of these there's a lot of effort going into making these dogs hideous.
Yeah. So, I mean, these people, the winner of the contest, they earn, of course, the prestige of having the ugliest dog. But they only get $1,500 and a trophy.
Oh, that's not worth carrying this ugly dog around.
No. Not a chance. I mean, a lot of people get dogs because they're cute and they want to, guys get them because they want to attract women. I don't know what you would attract carrying this thing around.
Sympathy?
Maybe an eagle. trying to swoop it out of your hands. But I wanted to let everybody know that just get an ugly dog. You can get $1,500 every year.
I want to see what the trophy look like.
And people say that the owners start to look like their dogs, or the dogs look like their owners after a while. So
I can see that. It makes the owners feel good about themselves.
It must. So, yeah, ugliest dog competition. You get an ugly dog and enter the contests every year. And it'll keep going because people are astounded by ugly. This other news story that I found, this guy actually, he's like my dad. He travels a lot, and this guy always complained about of all things while you're traveling for free, he complained about the mask, sleep mask that he gets on the airplanes. And so he decided to make one. And I'm surprised this isn't on Kickstarter, and it might be, but he actually made this. It looks like a ski mask type thing. And what it is on the front of it, it's white. It's a whiteboard material, so you can actually write on your sleep mask. Like, he was tired of going to sleep and missing the drink cart on the airplane. So now you can have this whiteboard on your face and you can write whatever you want on it. Like, I want, I need drinks, or wake me up at whenever we get here or something. And this guy really is expecting this to sell a lot. And if you look at the pictures on the website that I set there, it's kind of junk. He cut out the insulation on the inside, so women that are wearing makeup, it doesn't mess up their makeup. And
now I'm going to get it.
Yeah, so I mean, now
that
you're
solves
set.
it for me.
But this guy,
as an avid collector of whiteboards, I might want it.
That's very true. You do have a lot of whiteboards.
I do.
But I mean, this guy.
Do you have a picture of this thing?
Of the yeah. Let me throw it right here.
For all the visual learners out there.
Mm-hmm. Why is that not pasting in there?
I think the earplugs that come with it are worth more than the mask. That looks.
It has earplugs. Jeez,
yeah, they're kind of built into the strap.
Hmm.
Little holster for him. Batman belt.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The link is not posting or pasting into the chat for some reason.
Now, does this guy have a Kickstarter for his invention?
No, I don't think I don't think so. This guy is he's the CEO and the founder of Eclipse Products. So he's a well-made guy. He has plenty of money.
So he can afford to make mistakes.
Yeah. Pretty much. So that one's, like I said, not really a crazy news story, but some guy that thinks he's going to make a lot of money off of one thing like that. And if he does, I'm going to be very upset because I've had similar ideas before of stupid things. This next thing that I found is on the Huffington Post, and it's an app, a cell phone app for women and only women. And this is actually the app is called.
I don't know, technically, I think it could be used for. I think men could learn from it too.
I guess men could learn from it, huh? It's this is actually a female masturbation app. It's called Happy Playtime, and it's in development.
Sounds like a cartoon.
It does. It's Happy Playtime app, but it's supposed to teach female anatomy and then provide lessons on self-stimulation and techniques.
Self-stimulation.
And this girl that she kind of started it, she didn't think it was going to get any attention. It was just something that she was going to start just to inform people that women actually do it. But it's actually starting to get more attention than she...
The image they're using on here, it looks like this woman's been disemboweled. Are you looking at the whole stomach's open?
The little image that they have on the anatomy page. Yeah, it's just and it's like
a woman.
No, it looks it's like a little cartoony character,
like a little elf.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a live vagina, I think is what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vagina personified.
So they're. I mean, the lady says that she's really stunned to see all the support she's gotten, and initially started out as like an experiment. And she says, it's safe to say that she's now working hard to make it a reality because this was just something she was messing with. Now she's actually going to have this whole thing developed and make money off of it.
I kind of actually want to get this. I'll learn some things from this thing.
I think that's like Alan said. Men could learn from it.
I need something to teach me.
But if they're going to make everything in that weird cartoon type thing. Maybe you won't
Yeah,
learn
it's kind of
anything.
creeping me out.
It is.
That's not what I want to think about every time I think of
That's
that.
weird. Yeah, that's really strange. So there you have it. Now there's an app out there, and Alan and I have other ideas for an app, but we won't talk about that because we're going to make lots of money off of it. So
Right.
We'll move on to the next story. There's another guy. His name's Jamie Neal, and he actually decided to rob a gas station. Now, there's two guys that did this, and one guy went in there. They were at home, apparently, really drunk and high on stolen medication, and they decided to rob a gas station, which is the best time to do it, I guess, when you're really drunk and high on stolen medication. And
apparently they didn't do this particular act when they stole the medication.
No.
So
No. So they the first guy, they grabbed whatever they could, and the first guy grabbed a scarf to wrap around his face. This guy, Gareth Tilley. And the second guy grabbed a plastic bag, a see-through plastic bag, and decided that he was going to go with them and rob the store. And so they went into the store, of course, and the guy was on camera. They even have the video of him going into the store. Perfectly see-through. You can tell who he was. They were arrested 2 days later by an off-duty cop who saw them in the street, actually, and they saw the security footage and knew who he was.
was he still wearing the bag?
I don't know. But apparently he thought he'd get away with it, so they both got it 2 years in prison for that.
For the bag?
For bag crime, yeah. He was 41 years old, hanging out with a 20-year-old. If that's not creepy at all.
No.
So robbers just need more practice. And this other story,
There needs to be a Udemy course on that.
There should be. There you go, Philippe.
Bagless thieving.
You can add that to your course, Philippe. You can teach people how to steal properly.
I think I can do that. It'll be a small addendum at the end.
Oh, this oh man, another talking about dumb robbers. This guy, and this happened a while ago too, but this guy, his name Antaron Bell, and he goes by Chief Keef. He was actually trying to steal a car, and he actually got into the car and got 2 blocks down the road and couldn't drive it because it was a stick shift. And so he forced a woman out of her car. He jumped in, and I don't know how he got started if he couldn't drive it, but he only made it a couple blocks and realized that he couldn't drive, and so he bailed out. And then, of course, he got picked out of a lineup because the lady saw him clear as day.
Yeah,
robbers, stupid. They need to get smarter.
Don't be one.
They need to be smarter, or just don't do it. Just go to school.
That's just bad luck.
It's just stupidity. Don't steal.
It's a shame that it took him 2 blocks to figure out that he did not ever drive a stick.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how he even made it to 2 blocks. Did he just coast? Or what? I mean, or was he just grinding gears for 2 blocks and realized that he wasn't getting anywhere? I don't know.
It'd probably be pretty obvious that he was struggling. I tried to drive I can't drive a stick, and it's very apparent.
Really?
I tried driving in a parking lot, and I managed to hit something when there was nothing there.
That's kind of a bump. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Stealing that car, and it didn't work out for him.
Mm-hmm.
You can write him some letters if you want. Be your pen pal.
Feel for you. All right, you put the effort in.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one last weird story, and I had to save this one for last because the Dr. Joseph Mercola, I can't pronounce his name, Mercola, he's actually claiming, of course, that boogers are good for you.
And my kids will be happy about this.
Yeah, so this guy claiming that, and most of the time that doctors say that the only good germ is a dead germ, which isn't exactly true anymore. He's finding out that boogers actually are good for your immune system. I don't know. It says it actually helps introduce pathogens into your immune system that will strengthen your body. It strengthens the natural germ defense. Because the fact that he's going on the thing that we all use over cleanliness nowadays. And I'm sure, Alan, you're probably one of these people because Alan's kind of a germaphobe. But they're talking about being overly hygienic and using you just let your kid get dirty. Allow your kids to play outside, get dirty, and realize that, if your kids eat boogers, it's not the end of the world. You know, and people are using, we all do it. We use antibacterial soap and other antibacterial household products, and that actually wipes out microorganisms in your body that you need. So, simple soap and water. That's all you need. All this stuff that it says there's a antibacterial chemical called triclosan. It's quite toxic, and it's even been found to promote the growth of resistant bacteria. So, yeah, use regular soap. Get dirty.
So is he saying boogers have germs in it? Is that why we're supposed to?
Yeah, they have a good germ in them. It introduces pathogens. Basically, what it does is it tells your body, hey, there's something in here. And it uses this, what is it called? The Th1. Let me find the actual name for it. It's Th1 lymphocytes.
Sorry.
It's, like some weird Th1 lymphocytes that they assault infected cells throughout your body. So they produce antibodies to stop dangerous microbes from invading your body's cell in the first place. So
I'm in the mindset.
Don't touch it.
What? Yeah, I'm in the mindset of anything that's trying hard to evacuate my body should not go back in it.
Yeah. Now, does this have to be your boogers, or is it like anybody? Are this mutually good for you, or is it?
I don't know. I guess that's just kind of like drink your own pee, but nobody else's.
You, yeah.
I do not know. I'll have to ask them.
Because if it works, think about mass producing. I'm sure there's some people who'd be interested in that.
Wow.
Yeah, we can make like bars of booger soap and.
That's so foul.
Snot infused.
That's gross. But I guess there's many different ways you can go with that.
I don't know. Yeah, you said your kids use it, so there's a market for it.
Yeah.
I guess
slap a cartoon character onto the bottle. They'll be all for it.
Well, I mean, the guy did have he was working on something smart, at least. I mean, he was letting people
wait a
know
minute. What was he doing when he came up with it? I mean, was he just like eating them? And
he's been researching over people that have been overly hygienic and talking about how our immune systems are actually getting worse than they used to be because we've been using so much antibacterial stuff and not allowing our kids to get dirty and not eating locally grown or organic meat, because most meats have antibiotics in them from the animals, and then, of course, overusing antibiotics. And that's just kind of how he was researching all that and came across the idea that we need to start eating our boogers. Which
interesting how you get to that point.
It's an interesting, right? It's a strange leap. Right? I guess you could pick out
I will not be practicing. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with with clinical trials and stuff like this, and you actually have to have a couple different volunteers.
Oh yes, there's a group of people out there.
Yeah, they have to have blind studies and actually have people doing the research and testing this out. And so, is there like a placebo booger? Is there, where you like this one actually isn't a real booger, but it looks and tastes like a booger? I don't know.
It's just dried banana or something.
What a great thing to talk about, right? Eating boogers. That was my favorite story that I read. Yeah, I mean, last week's stories were crazy, and this week's were pretty good. But that one, boogers, that is awesome. And John actually asked if they're probiotic, and actually, that's kind of what they do. And it's weird because it creates a good bacteria in your body, so your body can know how to fight more bacteria. So it's kind of like a probiotic.
Awesome.
Jason says that asks if the boogers are going to stop computer viruses at all.
No, I've been flicking them at my screen for a long time. Never stopped anything.
I don't even want to know what your mouse is like either.
No, it reminds me of a story of my brother. Though we were younger, we had bunk beds, and when I was a kid and I enjoyed my boogers, I would wipe them on the wall, but I do it on his bunk, the bottom bunk. And then when we moved from that house, I blamed my brother, and he had to scrape them off. And yeah, poor guy.
Well, did he save them? Because he might be very healthy by now. If he had saved all of them.
I saved his life.
Oh, there you go.
Tell him that. He's still mad at me for that. That was like 20 years ago.
Wow, tell him to get over it. Tell him to eat some boogers and call it good. I wanted to talk about one last thing too, and see how you guys felt about it. And it doesn't have to do with boogers. I'm sorry, but it was about Facebook and how they had the bug that exposed email addresses and phone numbers of like 6 million users. It's something that happened with it, and this bug that they had they keep calling it a bug because they won't say what exactly happened, the security flaw, but it said the sum of a person's contact information, email or phone number, can be accessed by people who had some contact information about that person or some connection to them, of course. And now somebody would use, like they would use my account to get to a friend of a friend. And they would pull all their information and get all their email address and then their phone number. And somehow they were able to get that information and then go into your email account and download your information from your email account. Or they were able to hack your telephone information too and send your phone numbers to a bunch of different addresses. So you
don't answer my phone anyway, so I've had a full voicemail box for about a year and a half.
Yeah, I will never put my phone number on anything. I don't put it in Skype. That's why I have a specific phone number for the show that's on Skype, so I don't have to deal with it. It's not connected, to my personal number at all.
Even your social security number and your bank account, I just kind of assume you can find that if you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, thinking that there's really 100% security anywhere is kind of crazy because nothing's private anymore. I mean, Facebook, you're signing up to give away all your information.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're social media. They're there to share your entire life.
When I logged into Spreaker, I think they asked me if they could have access to my
life.
Yeah, your life, basically.
We have to be able to look at your whole Facebook. I was like, sure, okay.
I hate that with things like that. They want to be able to, access all your contacts and all your stuff, and it's like, why? Can't I just run the program? But I mean, like Jason said, that the NSA really they have everything archived already, and they have a huge facility that's being built. Was it in Utah? I can't remember now, but it's a giant facility that they're building specifically for archiving information and surveillance information. And they claim that it's only going to be for overseas national security type stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, I still don't care. Like, yeah, I'm not important enough. As long as they don't catch me eating my boogers, I really don't care.
Well, even if they do, it's good for you. So,
yeah, I mean, it's okay now. So,
I don't know.
What are they gonna? I don't know.
That's why I want to know.
Get from me that's important.
Well, that's
my debt.
It's not only that. It's just, I mean, knowing about you. Once you open that floodgate of knowing about you, then they can predict everything that you're going to do and sell you things and push things on you. And eventually, like the big data show I was doing, with all that information, everything that you click on, eventually they're going to know you better than you know you. And that's the theory there, that our subconscious takes over so much of what we do and what we click on and what we watch and surf on the internet, that eventually they're going to be able to manipulate everything you do. I was talking with somebody last night about how interesting it is and how many decisions every day that you actually make. If you think about it, because if you go to the grocery store, a lot of decisions that you make at the grocery store are set up in place to make you make those decisions. Mm-hmm. So that's what worries me, is giving out all that information and knowing what they could do with it. And the biggest thing is not knowing what they're doing, period. If you're going to sit and lie to me and say we're not doing anything, that makes no sense. Just tell me what you're doing. Otherwise, don't take my information.
Get them.
There you go. That's my rant. So, now you know how I feel. I think I have nothing else to talk about. Do you want to talk about anything else there, Alan Quant?
No, sir. I fell asleep.
Yeah, I figured as much. You're eating boogers. For everybody that's listening, again, go to udemy.com and you can get Philippe's new course for $19. The coupon code is airtime. What was your website again?
Code was Air Justin.
Oh, I said airtime, didn't I?
All capitals.
Yeah, Air Justin. That'll be in the show notes. PS Comedy, is that what it was?
Yep. PScomedy.com.
Head over there too. You can see who this Philippe Schafer, through whoever he is, comedian.
That's exactly how you say it.
That's how I read it earlier, and so I wanted to make sure everybody knew how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So, $19, great course. You have pretty good amount of students in there now. So
yeah, it's a little over 700.
That's good.
Yeah,
I liked it. I'm on lecture 11 right now of the course, so I just got done learning styles of comedy and stuff. Things that, I mean, I've followed stand-up comedy for a long time, and I'm learning new things from your course, so I appreciate it. I like it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, again, I appreciate you being on the show with us and making us all laugh.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So next week, I don't know. I think we're going to actually have Corey and Ian McLeod, the guys that did the time-lapse video, the 21-year-old time-lapse video on YouTube that's going around right now. It's got 5 million views or something like that. They're actually going to be on the show next Sunday. We just confirmed that earlier this morning. So that'll be fun to talk to them and see what they, how they made that and why they decided to do it over a period of 21 years. That's 7,600 plus pictures that you have to take in a lifetime and do it every single day. So that'll be a fun show. But yeah, that'll be next Sunday, 2 p.m. Anything else, Alan, that you can think of?
Oh, no, I'm combing my hair.
You don't have any hair. Don't lie to me. Do you have anything going on special with the digital craft, with the private training? Anything big?
I'm getting rid of GoToMeeting. That's about the exciting. No, that's all I got.
Okay, well,
I'm rethinking the idea. Not rethinking. I'm considering the idea of doing actual live courses again. Now that I've taken a look at Adobe Connect instead of GoToMeeting.
Okay.
But I don't want to say anything else other than that because I don't know if I'm going to do it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll let everybody know if you do come out with something really, really fun and important, which I'm sure you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for us here at Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Thank you again, Philippe, for being on the show. Alan, always, thanks for co-hosting.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you next week on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
You've been listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., Justin brings you amazing courses on Udemy.com and amazing guests and great conversation. Miss an episode? No problem. Go to www.geekcreations.com and click on the episode to listen. And join us next week for another episode of Live Speak with Justin the Geek.